Hello and welcome to this video. This is the introduction video to my new series about Ayurveda Yoga. The principle of Ayurveda says that there are 3 different body types. Each one of us belongs to one of these body types, but it's also possible to have a mixture of the 3. However, one of the body types, which are called doshas, is usually predominant. Ayurveda says that if the doshas are out of balance, let's say one of the doshas is too strong or is too weak, we don't feel well, and this can be the source of feeling ill or sick. Now let me explain in this video the 3 different dosha types just briefly. If you would like to know more about them, there are dozens of dosha tests on the internet where you can find that out a bit more precisely. I would just like to give a brief introduction so you can find the right yoga video for you. The first type is the Vata type, which is associated with the elements of air and ether. Vata type people are usually rather skinny, so you can easily see their bones, and they're usually of a shorter height. Vata type people have very flexible joints, and they also feel cold very easily, which is not very surprising as they're mostly skinny and it's a bit more difficult for them to build up muscles but also to gain weight. Vata type people are very sensitive, and even a breath of air, for example, could bring them out of balance. So they have to be very conscious about their health so they don't get cold, and it's also important that they have a proper warm-up for their yoga practice. Vata type people very much like flexibility asanas, where they're very good at. It's just very important that they have a proper warm-up for that. What they are struggling with are postures where they have to be kneeling, for example, or where they are on the elbows, because as they're rather skinny, this might hurt. Vata type people can perform self-healing through movement, through gentle movement. So for them this can be a calm walk outside in the nature or a rather low intensity yoga session. The second type I would like to introduce is the Pitta type. The Pitta type is associated with the element of fire, and we can say that the fire is burning within these people all day long. They're usually of an average height and they also have an average posture. Pitta type people are very energetic and they like to perform high intensity sports. Pitta people, they often feel warm and they sweat easily. They're always seeking for their limits when they perform sports, so they might choose high intensity trainings, and they're also very ambitious when it comes to reaching new goals in a sports context. In yoga, they can perform most of the asanas easily, and they're also very strong for the strong exercises, literally. As the Pitta types always want to challenge their energies and challenge the limits, they seek for a yoga practice that is calming them down, slow down things, maybe not always go for the most ambitious option to bring them back in balance. So if you recognize yourself as a Pitta type, you will find the corresponding workouts here on my channel. The third type I would like to introduce is the Kapha type. Maybe you can already guess it. The Kapha type is usually a person of taller height, in contrast to the other 2. For Kapha people, it's very easy to gain muscles, but also rather easy to gain weight. So the Kapha body is characterized by very strong muscles, which makes it easy for them to hold balance poses or any other kind of intensive poses for a long time. However, the Kapha people are less flexible, so for them it's also very important to have a proper warm-up. Kapha bodies usually don't like very intense workouts, and they rather seek a quiet variation. So in a Kapha flow, I would have a very strenuous part in the beginning, but then slow down exercise by exercise. Kapha types can also use the method to breathe into exercises, as it takes some time for them to really arrive in the best position. So as they can hold it for a rather long time, I would recommend to breathe into the flexibility and breathe into the parts of the body that are used during the exercise. Last but not least, Kapha types like meditation very much. They have very strong minds and like to spend some time in stillness.